Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first snack break of 2022. Today is Wednesday, January 5th. I'm Brittany McLean. I'm the Director of Membership here at Source. For those of you who haven't attended a snack break before, a couple of things to note. You've been muted automatically, but you can still chat with us on the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see the chat where Andrew has dropped in an emoji for us to get it started. You can let us know where you're tuning in from as we're going through the presentation. If there's things that you like, we'd love to hear that. Or if there's questions, that's really a great spot. I'll be keeping an eye on those, and we'll be either answering them throughout the presentation today, or if we don't get to them during the presentation, we'll save a couple minutes at the end for additional questions that you might have. So please feel free to use the chat as we go along. And if you do need to step away or you want to reference this presentation later, send it on to a friend or a colleague, you will get a copy of the presentation and the recording after we wrap up this today. So to get us started, I've got Maddie Card with me from Boral. Nice to have you. Welcome.
Hi. I was just texting back. Hi, Lisa.
I love it. I love it. Friends already. That's perfect. Well, we're so excited to have you here and to share a little bit more. I'm glad to kick off the new year with one of these presentations. So I know you've got a lot to show us. So I'll go ahead and just let you jump right in. And again, anybody who's tuning in, please ask any questions in the chat along the way, and we'll make sure we get those answered for you. So Maddie, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to be touching a little bit on everything about manufactured stone veneer, and then talk a little bit more about the brands I represent. On this slide, you see my contact information. I work for the Boral Stone Division. We are now a Westlake company. Just recently got purchased on October 1st. And the main brands that I represent here in the Pacific Northwest that are a little bit more predominant is the Eldorado Stone and Cultured Stone brands. And then we also have our beautiful Kindred Outdoor Living, which I'll talk about that as well. So I'll go ahead and dive on in. So we are a national manufacturer. We sell all of these products throughout the US, in Canada, as well as in Mexico. We have a facility in Italy, so we're international as well. So with manufactured stone veneer, what you all should know is we make our stone from natural stone itself. We hand select particular textures, styles, colors of a natural stone, and we pour a silicone-based product over those natural stone products to make our molds. And that's how we replicate our manufactured stone veneer. So they are actually taken from natural stone. We don't continually dig into the earth to produce or take natural stone, but we'll reuse those natural stones that we chiseled down to perfection to meet our specs, and we reuse them over and over to make more and more molds. So I'd like to just touch on that one.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, so sustainability factors. Out of both brands, the Eldorado and Cultured Stone, they're both low VOC products, so great for indoor spaces, hospitals, your own home, in your bedroom, schools. You don't have to worry about all those high VOCs. It also helps with insulation too. So, hey, during the wintertime, it's freezing cold outside. Masonry in general just adds to that insulation and keeps that indoor air indoors. But one big thing to know is our Cultured Stone brand. It is going to be a little bit more on the sustainable side than the Eldorado Stone. With Cultured Stone, we use an average of 58% recycled material. So that's material that didn't pass the QC check that day. Every day we're doing a quality control check during the afternoon time. So any product that's a little bit off, we end up taking that out and we grind it down to a really fine material, and we put that back into our batch mix ingredients. Also, our facility for Cultured Stone is in Napa, California. We also have Chester, South Carolina. So 2 facilities right here in the US. And both those facilities use a closed loop water system. We also recycle rainwater. There is minimal to zero waste that leaves our manufacturing facility. So we're always recycling material and reusing it and repurposing it. The El Dorado stone, which we'll talk a little bit more about that, it's made just south of the border in Mexico. With their facilities there, we don't have the capabilities of doing as high of a recycled content with that. So that's going to be more on the cultured stone side.
Appreciate you calling out those differences.
Yeah, no problem. I know there's always questions. So with manufactured stone veneer, why would you choose MSV over a natural stone? One of the main things that we come up against is the installation. If you're installing a full bed natural stone, it's going to be extremely heavy in comparison to manufactured stone veneer. So you need special anchors or fasteners to make sure it's fastened to the wall. It's not going to come loose. But with manufactured stone veneer, if it meets the ASTM codes, which you should always check and make sure that your manufacturer MSV you're using on your building meets ASTM codes, it should not exceed 15 pounds per square foot. So that gives you an idea of weight. So with that, you just need lath and mortar to fasten it to the wall. For big projects that are extremely high up on the wall, we always recommend polymer modified mortar. If you're going to be doing a dry stack or using those really large format pieces, that might be 12 by 24, we again recommend that polymer modified mortar. But if you have any questions about mortar and actual installation, just get in touch with me and I could talk a little bit more in depth on that. Also, some other good pros with manufactured stone veneer is not only easier install, quicker install, you're paying less to install it because of those two factors. And the stone itself is a little bit less than the natural stone in the cost just for the stone. It's easier to ship because a lot of the natural stone is coming from a variety of different areas, and we're finding more of it coming internationally. So the shipping cost to freight it overseas is going to be pretty high, where we make our product right here in the US, which is awesome. We'll also talk about more customization with manufactured stone veneer. You have more textures, colors to choose from than you could find with a natural stone. These are man-made pieces, so we figure out how these pieces will fit nicely on the wall. So it's less labor for the masons. That means less cutting of the material, which overall means less scrap material left behind than what you would deal with a natural stone.
So we did have one question that came in kind of when you were talking about the manufacturing making. Do you guys, and prefaced by in non-COVID times, offer tours of any of your manufacturing plants? Is that something that you guys do?
We do. Thanks,
Love
John.
it.
So yeah, we do offer tours. If you are going to be in Napa, or if you're in Chester, South Carolina, we do more tours on the Napa side though. Just let me know, get in touch with me. If you are doing a really large project with our brands, with the cultured stone, we definitely want to take you on tour. We want to show you what the facility looks like and how that stone is made. But yeah, we've actually just opened up our plant tours in Napa this year. So very exciting.
That's awesome. Great. Yeah. And if you also need contact information for any of you, if you're not in the Pacific Northwest, you can use our rep finder, or again, reach out to the team and we'll make sure that we get you connected with the right person in your area. But thanks for answering that.
Yeah. So application, we'll talk a little bit about this photo-wise. I'll show you some images on the next two slides, but manufactured stone veneer, you can put it anywhere, long as it's on the wall. I should state that. We don't want you to be putting it on the floor. We really don't recommend it going on the ceiling. If you are going to be doing an application where there's going to be a little bit over on a soffit, let's talk. There's a particular way of installing the stone so it doesn't come loose and hit you on the head. But wall purposes, you are safe. Inside, outside, residential, commercial. But yeah, all different ways to install it, and we'll show you some photos.
Love it.
So here's some different images, how you could utilize manufactured stone veneer in a commercial or residential application. The upper right or upper left, sorry, is our hotel lobby. So that's a beautiful way to incorporate our manufactured stone veneer. This is the Alpine in a dry stack. The upper right photo is our beautiful Modera. That is on a Fireplace. So great for outdoor living spaces. We're starting to see more outdoor living spaces being developed, especially with COVID. I mean, you got to have some sanctuary outside, and what better place is your own home? A little safer.
Yes.
So the bottom left is a beautiful way to incorporate MSV in a hotel room. I just absolutely love this. So it's a nice way to add a little bit more texture to the space rather than just having your painted wall. And it's a great way to kind of give it more of that traditional, warm, inviting feel as well. And then we also have on the bottom right a large office lobby downtown. So great way to kind of, again, add a little bit more texture and more of that comfort and rustic feel to a building.
With like the fireplace and stuff, is there anything people should be aware of in terms of like the heat? Like, is it applicable for any type of fireplace?
Any type of fireplace. We just don't recommend putting it inside the fireplace.
Got it. Perfect.
So yeah, outside, you are good to go. The only type of application that I wouldn't suggest using manufactured stone veneer on is for a shower or any water fountain displays. We just don't want that continuous water running down the stone. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it's very wet. So if you have stone installed outside in the rainy areas, no problem at all. We don't have to worry about special chemicals or soaps getting on that stone and continually hitting that stone, which can start discoloring it a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and I should say for outdoor application in a wet climate, water repellents. Use a breathable silane or siloxane-based water repellent.
Oh, perfect. Good.
Little disclaimer. So here's some more images of using manufactured stone veneer, more on the residential side. So we have great ways to incorporate it into an entryway. Again, outdoor living, outside spaces, your fireplaces. And even I love this bathroom where they incorporated that stone with that freestanding tub in front of it. Just beautiful. So there's two different types of manufactured stone veneer to choose from. You have your individual pieces, which are going to be more of your traditional style, your ledge stones, your dressed field stones. And then the modular pieces are going to be more of that contemporary modern style look. And those modular pieces will come in a standard height, be it 4 inches. We have some in 3 inches or 6 inches. And then you're going to have 3 different lengths to choose from. Masons love to install modular panels over individual just because it's a quicker, easier installation for them. And it frees up some time, which will eventually also free up some cost too in the end. Should note with individual pieces, the benefits of going that route is you could do more custom blends. All custom blends are done on the job site. They are not done at the manufacturing facilities. So talk to your mason. We recommend mock-up panels for sure when it comes to custom blends. Make sure everyone's happy.
Yeah.
This image right here is showing a custom blend, 80% of that limestone with a 20% of that dressed field stone. Both textures are in the same color. So you could also do custom color blends as well if you're trying to mimic a natural stone. Natural stone colors are literally all over the place.
That's so pretty. I love that combination.
Right? It's so unique. And it definitely makes that home very different from their neighbors.
Yes, for sure.
So different grout joints, just to know, is there is your 1/2 inch grout joint. We call that our standard. It's about a finger width gap. You'll be doing that with individual pieces. You don't want to have any grout joints with the modular panels. It just looks weird. And then we also have our tight fitted. So that's going to be more of that tight fit, or known as dry stack. That can be used with individual pieces and also the modular panels. And then the other style is the overgrout. The overgrout gives it more of an old European style look, really popular along the East Coast.
Interesting.
Here on the West Coast, we're predominantly more 1/2 inch or that tight fit grout joint. It's always good to make sure that you talk to your mason, add it into the spec, because depending on what your grout joint you choose can change up the cost of installation, because you're going to have to get more material to dry stack than you would an overgrout or a 1/2 inch.
Makes sense. Like, good note. It's those little details that catch up to, right?
Yep, exactly. Grout colors, just one thing to choose and think about. If you don't suggest a grout color, you're going to get gray. So put that in your spec. If you want white grout, dark brown, there's light browns, tans, there's all sorts of grout colors out there. But if you want that, put it into your spec.
Perfect.
So again, just a quick brush over our brands that we represent: Eldorado Stone and Kindred Stone. We have over 100 different textures and colors in the Kindred Stone line, and over 100 different textures and colors in the Eldorado Stone line. Wow. So no matter what project you're working on, contemporary, rustic, if it's a small area or a large area, we got you covered. We have brick, we have wood-like styles. We even have large formats that resemble a CMU block. So a variety of different looks, textures, and colors that you could get just within these two brands here. Beautiful. And all this information we have uploaded on our Source website, on the Source website. So you could get samples of this relatively easy too. Another thing just wanted to touch on is the Kindred Outdoor Living. This is our Kindred Outdoor Kitchen blocks, so you can make custom kitchens. Super easy to maneuver and adhere to apply the stone. If you have questions, just reach out to Source or myself. I could talk a little bit more in depth on that. Okay. Kindred Outdoor Fire Bowls. This is super swanky, handmade, hand-sanded fire bowls in these 4 different colors. Each comes in 2 different textures, and we have 11 different styles as well, from small to large. Beautiful. And then last is our Kindred Fireplace Surrounds. Again, handmade, hand-sanded. You could go from traditional to modern, and they come in those same 4 different colors and 2 different textures, but just super easy to install. We have easy installations. Instructions, just need 2 people and you got it.
Love that.
Yeah, so our websites, but again, if you go through Source, you could easily access this. And then I should also ask if people have questions on wanting a ESR showing code compliancy or installation instructions, do they just reach out to Source?
Yeah, they can reach out, or again, all of your contact information is listed in our rep finder, and there's an easy way to contact whoever your local rep is there if it's not you. So, but yeah, I know your website has a lot of great information and lots of images and photos if you want to see pictures of all the different, get inspired by all the mini textures. I know I was browsing through when I was prepping for this. So this is great. And designers and architects, anybody who's here on the line with us, if you guys have questions for Maddie, feel free to put them in the chat. I have just a couple of questions about anything that people should know in terms of current lead times or things like that for their projects. I know that's something that's ever shifting these days, but is there anything people should be aware of if they're looking to use this on a project?
Yeah, I mean, the lead times really vary all over the board, depending on the brand, the texture, the quantity, all of that. But I would say you're safe if you at least notify the GC or the mason about 3 to 4 months as kind of a sweet spot. If
Okay.
it's a stocking product at any of our distributing locations, you should be fine. But yeah, reaching out to me or to the appropriate ASM rep, and they could help provide lead times on that. But yeah, it's all over the board.
Okay, good to know. Perfect. Well, I don't see any questions so far, but this stuff was really, really great and just nice to get, like say, a recap. And I know you say tons of options out there, and we've got samples. We can help get to you. So if you want to see any of these in person, or again have more questions, you can definitely reach out to us or to the Boral team. But let's see, we did get one question that came in from Melissa. She was curious about kind of general price range that you can expect for these types of products.
So I'm not able to give price ranges because they are all over the place as well. So it really depends on the state that you're in and where the project's going to be at. And again, the style, the more modern, large formats are going to cost a little bit on the higher tier, but our more traditional style is going to be kind of more on that lower tier. Also, the Mason, if they have an account set up with our distributor, that's going to change the price as well. I mean, here in the Pacific Northwest for Oregon and Washington, you're probably going to be, and don't quote me on this, this is super general, around $8 a square foot. Masons will typically price out overall costs around $30 on the wall. That's with the labor and the material. But again, that can change just depending on the type of project and location.
Super. Yeah. And we can definitely connect you, Melissa, if you have more specific, you want to kind of dial in and get a little more granular on that. We can definitely help you out, but that's helpful for now. Let's see. I don't see any other questions yet, but this was super great. And again, I'm so glad that you were able to be a part of our very first snack break of the new year. And we'll be back again next week at the same time. So you can look for that on our events page, or again, we'll send you out an email. And then again, a copy of this will be sent to you after we wrap up today. So Maddie, thank you so much for your time, and thank you all for joining us. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you.
All right, bye all. Thanks.